Join me. Together we can rule the galaxy far from the sun.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Hello there, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses. This is Todd Hoffman and Trent Hoffman. You're listening to Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 98. Man, we're getting so close to 100, and we got a special guest planned for 100, and we can't wait to share that with you. But and it's honestly not too early to send us some emails, and we'll read those on the air or read them on the 100th episode. We really appreciate that if you could send us that. That's Big T Little T podcast at gmail.com. You could drop us a little thank you, or how you doing, or keep up the good work, or whatever you want to do, or give us a Star Wars question. We'd love to hear from that. But today we are going to be talking about the last episode of Star Wars Resistance. That is The Escape Part 2. Unfortunately, Little T could not join me today, but he is here in Jedi Force spirit. So, but the show must carry on, and we're going to dive almost right into it. But if you haven't been playing Lego Star Wars, what have you been doing with your life? Get it. It's so good. I heard there's some performance issues with the Switch from some of my podcast friends, but we're playing on the Xbox Series X, and we are digging it. It is so much fun. So definitely check us out on twitch.tv, /Big T Little T podcast, and you can find us streaming over there. We'll probably be playing a little bit more this weekend. We have finished the original trilogy, and now we're ready to start the prequel trilogy. Trent wanted to go into release order, so that's what we're doing. You have basically the first three of the movies, so Phantom Menace, A New Hope, and Force Awakens open to you, but after that, you have to beat levels to unlock other levels. So we started with A New Hope, did that. The humor is on point. Probably one of the funniest Star Wars games around. It's great. Can't give a total full review until we kind of beat the story mode, but it is a lot of fun, and it's big, and you get to jump around and do hyperspace and space battles and all this stuff. It's large and in charge. So definitely check us out on Twitch, and you can see us streaming. Usually on the weekends is when we get to stream. So definitely check that out. But hey, let's get into the main topic. So this is the exciting conclusion of Star Wars Resistance. I can't believe we're finally here. And it took me this long to watch Star Wars Resistance, but this picks up immediately after the Escape Part 1, obviously Part 1, Part 2. And so Yeager and Kaz are still loose on the ship, and Tam got captured. So that's kind of where we're at. And so Tam is kind of being taken back. I don't know why. Maybe they're gonna bring her to a holding cell or something like that. But essentially, they are being captured, and they got the executioner kind of first order troopers there. But Kaz and Yeager come in, rescue Tam, and now it's literally the escape. So they're trying to figure out a way to escape. But one of the things that they think of is they have to get a signal out to the Colossus and warn them, because that slimy dude that was a Resistance guy but now is a pilot with Tam. Gosh, what is his name? Anyways, he's like, all right, gave up the position of the Colossus, and here we go. And so they're the First Order, they're traveling in hyperspace to the location of the Colossus. And at the same time, the Colossus crew we know that they're in trouble. It's taking too long. And so Captain Dozer's like, we have to rally the folks. So back to the First Order hyperspace thing. Tam, Yeager, and Kaz and CB go down to the engineering room. They're going to try to get out a message to the Resistance and say, hey, Colossus, get out of here. Like, get out of here. And so that is what they're doing. And obviously there's resistance, but they were able to make that happen. And so one of the things that is very interesting is that CB is being the man, and I think obviously he referenced her as a her. This is I think the first time that there was that pronoun, so I was like, oh, she's a girl, which is fine. That's totally cool. But I thought it was a guy, but now it's girl. That's okay. So CB is like, hey, open up, elevator turbo lift G27, and so he does that, or she does that, and makes it happen. And so they get in there. They go down to engineering. Yeager's kind of taking the forces out, and then it's a rapid thing, and there's Prize trying to get them and all this kind of stuff. And so finally they get to the dock. At the meantime, they were able to get the message out coded. Niku is running that coded message to Doza, as Doza's trying to rally the people on Z's and say, we got to fight. We got to stand up. We can't run anymore. And everyone's like, but as a Star Destroyer. And finally, like, okay, let's do it. And then Kaz comes on the hologram and it's like, hey, we're in trouble. We need your help. And so they finally say, okay, let's do it. So the aces go. And so when they're in hyperspace, this is where they pull out, and there's the Colossus, and Kaz is like, why are they still here? They should have left. But the aces come out, and they start destroying the Star Destroyer, obviously with shields and all that fun stuff. It ain't working out really well. No one has died at this point, but they're not making any progress on the Star Destroyer. CB, she comes into the play here, takes down the shields, and then aces just blow up the engines, and it's like, and lots of explosions. If you played any of the X-Wing games or played any Battlefront games, you know what I mean. You got to hit the engines to knock out the Star Destroyer. And so that's what they do. And at the same time, Kaz, Yeager, and Tam are trying to get out, and then they do, and Commander Prize there, but CB comes to rescue, saves Kaz, and then Kaz takes him out, but CB gets injured, and they get on a transport, they get out of Dodge. At the same time, Kylo's hailing them and saying, what's going on? And Tyranny's like, I need more support. And that's when Kylo force chokes Tyranny, because that's what they do in the First Order. It's not looking good. It isn't good. The Star Destroyer gets exploded, and everybody comes safe on the Colossus, and there's a celebration at Aunt Z's. Tam apologizes to many of the folks she runs into, saying, I was just fear, but then Yeager said something cool. It's like, well, you were the bravest one of us all, making a stand and turning around and saying, I'm going to do different. I'm going to be different, even though I made this bad choice, which I think is a great lesson for kids and adults. Like, hey, you can make some bad choices. Like, hey, I thought this was a good idea, and then it's not a good idea, and you take ownership of that and say, you know what? I did make a bad choice, and I want to own that. And I think that is really the message here. And they have a little party, boom, 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 have some drinks, and that's how the episode ends. Boom. That's it. That's it. Resistance is over. Well, not really. The Resistance and the Colossus are still there, but the First Order and that flagship that was hunting down the Colossus is gone. So now, obviously, the First Order has to dedicate more troops or ships or whatever to find the Resistance. But that is the story for a different day. And there you have it. That is Escape Part 2. Wow. So there you have it. That is how the episode ends. It's crazy. It's awesome. It's so much fun. I can't believe it's over, but it's a great show. I like how it progressed, and I think it was fun. Definitely more kid-centric, but that's okay. I think there's still a lot of Star Wars in here. So if you haven't seen Star Wars Resistance, and you haven't been listening to all our episodes of the breakdown of Star Wars Resistance, what are you doing? Check it out. It's kind of sporadic. It's not in parts, but you can find it on our back catalog of all the episodes that we've done, and it's been fun doing that. All right, so really what we got is next up is what happened when in 1998. Since we're doing episode 8, let's just take a little preview of what's happening in 1998. One of the things that's kind of cool is that Star Wars Galaxy Collector published. It was a magazine that published in February, but let's go start with January. And Boba Fett, Death, Lies, and Treachery is published. So that's a book. At the same time, this is, again, Dark Horse has a license. Crimson Empire 2 is published. That's a big thing. I'm trying to think of what else we got going on here. A lot of X-Wing Squadron. Again, Dark Forces Rebel Agent. Shadows of Empire. These are comics. These are all kinds of different... Oh, Journey to Mos Eisley, another book, is published there in March, which is cool. Trying to think of anything. Jedi. Okay, May Jedi. Ooh, I love this Legends book. If you haven't checked this out, check out Jedi. It's with Coran Horn, I believe, is the Jedi. Oh, it's so good. This is one of my favorite books of all time. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check out Jedi. That is so cool. What a great book. That came out in 1998. The Mandalorian Armor is published in June. Don't know what that book is, but that sounds cool. Okay, in July, the other thing that Dark Horse did is basically partner with Magna, and they did a Star Wars Magna A New Hope. So all the stories are in this Magna style. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. I can't believe how good it is. Trying to think. Yeah, so that's being published the rest of the year. Visions of the Future is published. I believe that's a Timothy Zahn book, if I'm not mistaken. October, Dark Forces Jedi Knight is published. So this is a sequel to Dark Forces. This is awesome. This is a carrying on. You get to do lightsabers. This is so cool and so new in the video game world. You take it for granted now, but this is like first person Force and Jedi stuff. You know, Force push, Force pull, Force speed, all this stuff that was very, very early on in the video game world and just kind of accepted, but now it's happening. So that is super cool. So there you have it. 1998, pretty influential. Lots of stuff going on here. A couple video games, couple Magna there and all that stuff like that. Pretty cool stuff. I got a little thing here also on Wikipedia that says Bad Robot Productions is founded. So if you're not familiar with Bad Robot, that's J.J. Abrams' production company. So that's kind of significant. And Star Wars Behind the Magic was a CD thing that had extra footage from A New Hope with Anchorhead, and that ties into Book of Boba Fett. So that happened in 1998. That's crazy. So crazy. So there you have it. And that's it, guys. That is it. So thanks again for listening to another episode of Big T, Little T, a Star Wars podcast. You can find us on the socials, Big T, Little T podcast, BLILT podcast on Twitter. The email, again, Big T, Little T podcast at gmail.com. Twitch.tv/Big T, Little T. Got all that? If you didn't, that's okay. Go to bio.link/Big T, Little T, and that has all your links. So there you have it. Now remember, truly wonderful the mind of the child is, and may the Force be with you always. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Till next week, we're going to be talking about Phantom Menace because it's episode 99. We might as well talk about Phantom Menace, so that's what we're going to do. And that is it, I think. I promise. Bye. Talk to you later. Bye, 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 bye.